Assalamualaikum and hi. In this video, we are going to discuss about increment and decrement operators in Java. Specifically, we are going to look into the differences between prefix and postfix increment and decrement. Increment operators in Java is usually represented by two equal signs. This operator increases the value of a variable by 1. For example, if integer I is equal to 5 and I do I++, which means I is equal to I plus 1, then the output will be 6. Whereas for decrement, it is represented by two minus sign, where this operator decreases the value of a variable by 1. Similar to increment, if I declare an integer j is equal to 5, but I do j minus minus, these represent j equal to j minus 1. So when I print my j, I will get the output 4. What we have seen earlier is actually what we call as the postfix increment and decrement, where you have the plus plus or the minus minus sign behind the variable. So here we say for postfix increments and decrement, the variables are incremented or decremented after their current values are used. Because it's postfix, that's why we say it's after. Whereas for prefix, you will see that we have the plus plus sign and also the minus minus sign right before the variable. And in this case, we say for prefix increment or decrement, the variables are incremented or decremented before their current values are used. Now let's look into some example of prefix and postfix increment. For prefix increment here, I first declare a variable I, which equal to 5. Then I do integer a is equal to plus plus 1. So plus plus 1 here is a prefix increment, which means I will increase the value of I first, then only I assign that value to the variable a. In this case, my I is 5, so I will do 5 plus 1 first. Now my I will be equal to 6, then only I assign the value 6 to the variable a, so when I print a, I will get 6. Whereas for postfix increment, I will declare a same variable here, j is equal to 5. I do integer b is equal to j plus plus, but because it is a postfix increment, so I will assign the original value of j first to b. My original value of j is 5, so b is equal to 5. Then only I do the increment. So when I print b here, I will get 5. The same concepts apply to prefix and postfix decrement. For prefix decrement, here again I declare a variable I equal to 5. Because it's a prefix decrement, so I will first decrease the value of I. My original value of I is 5. I do 5 minus 1 because I do the decrement first. Then only I assign that value to a. So after I do 5 minus 1, I get 4. So if I print a, now my a will be 4. For postfix decrement, similarly, I declare a variable j, which is equal to 5. I do integer b equal to j minus minus. So here I will assign the original value of j to b first, then only I do the decrement. So if I assign the original value of j to b, now my b will be equal to 5. So if I print system.out.println b, I will get 5. Now let's look into some exercise of increment and decrement operators in Java, where it involves both prefix and postfix. For the first example, we say integer a is equal to x plus plus and then plus y. We're going to do it one by one. We know that x plus plus here, this is actually postfix. We know that for postfix, it will only assign the value after the increment. So my x here will be still 3 when I do the evaluations. Then my y is equal to 2 as declared earlier. So a is equal to x plus plus, where my x is still 3, 3 plus 2, that should be 5. Let's run it to verify. So I get a is equal to 5. For example 2, integer b is equal to plus plus x. So we know here plus plus x is actually prefix, which means I will first increase the value before I do the evaluations. So in this case, my x will be equal to 3 plus 1, that will be 4. And then my y will be equal to 2. B is equal to 4 plus 2, so my b will be equal to 6. Let's run it again. B equal to 6. Example 3, integer x is equal to 3, integer y is equal to 2, integer I is equal to plus plus x plus y plus x. So plus plus x here, we know that that is prefix, which means I'm going to increase x by 1 first. So now my x will be equal to 4. And my y will be 2. There's no increment or decrement. The second x here, because I have already done the increment, so my second x here will be equal to 4. So I is equal to plus plus x, which is 4, plus y, which is 2, and plus x here. So 4 plus 2 plus 4, they'll be equal to 10. Let's run it to verify. I is equal to 10. The final example here, integer x is equal to 3, integer y is equal to 2, integer j is equal to x plus plus y plus x plus y minus minus. X plus plus here, we know that is postfix. So I'm going to do the evaluations before the increment. So for the first x, that will be equal to 3 before the increment. My y, no questions about it, y is equal to 2. Now my second x here, okay, there's no increment or decrement sign, but because I have done the x plus plus here, so now my x should be equal to 4. You need to remember that. And then I do y minus minus, because y minus minus here, we know that this is also postfix, okay? Which means I'm going to do the evaluations first, then only I do the decrement. So in this case, my y will still remain with its original value, which is 2. Now, if I'm going to do the calculations here, j will be equal to 3 plus 2, which is equal to 5, plus 4, which is 9, plus 2. So my j will be 11. Let's run it. So j is equal to 11. I hope through this exercise and also what I've explained earlier, you have a better understanding of increment and decrement operators in Java, specifically related to the differences of prefix and postfix. Thank you very much.